Something inside his body then triggered. A large wolf then appeared and pounced towards the man who attacked him. The man's eyes widened in surprise when he saw it. After that, only the man's screams of pain and despair could be heard. Hajin was also surprised and did not expect that sudden change. Seeing the transparent wolf that had just finished off the man, Hajin wondered if it was the wolf spirit, whether it had just come out of his body. But, when he was confused, he then remembered something. He then realized that this was one of the effects of the buff that Evangel gave him at that time. Hajin did not expect that he would be caught off guard like this. He felt that he was inexperienced. He still had a long way to go. The sudden attack of the man was just a small episode. Hajin still hadn't forgotten his mission. He then walked to the container and opened the door. Seeing the hostages with trembling bodies and desperate looks in the container, Hajin then threw a smartwatch at them. With his heart filled with confusion, one of the hostages then picked up the smartwatch. Seeing that, Hajin told them that the Jin was dead. He also asked that they should be able to call reinforcements right. While extending his hand forward, Hajin then told them that they could go home now. After that, Hajin then told the boss that his mission was complete. The boss replied that she understood and told him to leave the rest to them. The boss was currently in a place that looked like a cave, and she was not alone there. While looking to the side, she then asked their opinions. To the members of the chameleon troupe gathered there about Hajin's performance earlier, somewhat confused, Khalifa asked if it was okay if there were only 5 people who came when evaluating rookies like this. Honestly, he was more looking forward to the new headquarters. Jane was also helpless about it. After all, everyone had their own schedules. She was also quite surprised by Hajin's performance earlier. He only took 21 seconds to kill 20 people. She was confused how a rifle could be that strong. She felt that Hajin's talent was really impressive. She thought his talent was some kind of upgrading or modifying weapons with mana. She then asked their opinions regarding that. Hearing that, a man with long hair said that he thought he was at high intermediate rank or above. Jane was surprised to hear him rate Hajin that high, but she was then annoyed because she felt he didn't even understand what the concept of high intermediate level was like. 10 of them could still beat him. He chuckled at that. He also replied that it would take at least 100 of them to be able to fight him. Hearing their debate, Khalifa then asked Jane's opinion. Hearing that, Jane thought for a moment. She felt that Hajin might be in the mid-tier, in the same range as Kim Suho. She was not sure if it was one-on-one, but when fighting many people, he would be very useful. Feeling that their opinions varied, he said that this kind of evaluation should be more for Jungyang. He was very good at evaluating people. He also asked if he was still in Demon Realm. Drun replied yes. That pig looks like he has no intention of leaving that place. This made him wonder if he didn't feel bored being there. Hearing that, one of the members said he might come back once he was satisfied enough. Jane suddenly remembered something at this time. She then called Drun and asked him if he knew anything about what wolf it was. Hearing that, Drun thought for a moment. He then rather uncertainly said, maybe it was Kim Hajin's pet. Jane was rather speechless hearing his answer. Who would keep a pet in the chest? Seeing the confusion of the two of them, the boss then said that she would ask him directly, but Jane doubted whether Hajin would tell her about it. Hearing that, the boss told her not to worry, with a completely unconvincing face. The boss said that Kim Hajin trusted her completely. If she asked him, he would tell her, but Jane certainly did not believe her words. She knew very well about the boss's personality, but seeing her proud smile, she didn't say what was in her heart at the moment. After a while, after Hajin completed his mission, he then returned to the dormitory. After placing Evangel on her bed, while stroking her hair, Hajin told her that she had saved her today. At that time, when seeing a wolf suddenly appeared in his chest and remembered the buff that Evangel gave him, he then immediately checked the details of the wolf. The wolf is described as the first familiar created by the witch. Hajin was shocked to read that. Familiars are created when a witch splits her soul to create a doppelganger. But he was then even more surprised when he set his eyes on the stats and skills of the wolf. Hajin was dumbfounded when he saw the stat that was so exaggerated. With stats like that, this thing should be the one using the armor rather than him. After being surprised, Hajin then got a feeling that maybe someday this wolf would become a real demon wolf. But when Hajin was thinking about that, his attention was then distracted when he saw Evangel suddenly move. With a happy smile, with eyes still closed, Evangel called his name in her sleep. She asked if he brought her good food. Hearing that, Hajin then held her little body. He said yes, but he told her to sleep again and eat it later. Looking at Evangel who fell asleep again in his arms, Hajin had a strange yet warm feeling. This felt new to him, but he was not aware of how much comfort this child brought to him. It had only been a year since he arrived in this world, and when he finished the main story and finally returned to the real world, he wondered, would he be able to return to his old life, all the things he had experienced here, the people he had met, would he be able to forget everything? Hajin's heart was always filled with confusion and doubt when thinking about it. Time passed, with a sleepy face. Hajin then came to class. He took a short nap for an hour but became even more tired. His smartwatch was quiet these days. He still hadn't received any news from Tomer. After visiting the memorial park, he left something there to attract Tomer as an ally. Now, he felt that Fernand's meal must have been filled with the flowers he left, but because he still didn't get a message from her. This made her suspicious that Tomer hadn't found the letter. Seeing a cadet standing and walking haughtily, the professor who was teaching then immediately scolded her and told her to sit down. The cadet turned out to be Tomer. Hajin was then surprised when he saw her suddenly sitting next to him. After that, the professor then continued to explain the material he was teaching. As for Tomer herself, after she sat next to Hajin, she then wrote something and showed it to him. In the small note, Tomer asked him if he had ever volunteered or something like that. Hajin was silent for a moment reading that. He then answered her question in a small note too. He answered yes and asked why. Tomer again asked him if he ever met someone named Benjamin Agus at the nursing home. Hajin confirmed it. They were also quite close. Reading that, with some hesitation, Tomer then asked him about what kind of person Benjamin Agus was in his eyes. Reading that, in the middle of the professor explaining. Hajin looked quite confused in his writing when he read her question. He just said that he always looked lonely. Reading his answer, Tomer then continued to ask him questions. She asked about how he could become close to him. She heard that he never opened up to the nurses. Not once, Hajin replied. He thought, maybe because their situations were similar. He also had no family members. After writing his answer, Hajin also silently thought that Tomer should have known about it, because he was sure she must have checked his background. After that, Hajin then wrote on a small note and asked her why she asked that. Tomer's face suddenly became gloomy when she read the question, but she then answered that he was her biological father. Hajin really did not expect it. He was surprised that Tomer actually told him that. Seeing his shocked expression, Tomer asked if he was surprised, and she was too. She didn't expect to meet someone who knew him here. But Tomer then angrily told him that that bastard had killed her mother and just ran away from her. She wanted to know why he killed his wife and threw away his own child, but it seemed that he was dead. Everyone in the nursing home said that they didn't know anything, so she could only ask him, did he leave anything? Reading her writing, Hajin then realized that Tomer had not read the letter at all. This really confused him. Could there be something going on in the nursing home? Because actually, Fernand, he didn't throw Tomer away. After that, with mixed thoughts, Tomer then asked him where the letter was now. Reading her question, Hajin then immediately wrote the answer on her little note. It was in Siaho Memorial Park. Tomer was surprised when she read the answer. After a while, the professor then said the closing words for today's class. He also reminded them not to forget to study for their final exam. After the class finally ended, Tomer then stood up and called him. She said that today she would leave Cube. She also said that she would return all the money she had lent, so she told him not to worry. Hajin sighed for a moment hearing that. He muttered that he was not worried about it from the beginning. Looking at Tomer who walked away, Hajin was sure that she would realize it herself. Feeling that all the problems have finally been resolved, Hajin then stretched his body. He thought it seemed like everything went smoothly. He could finally feel relieved and rest comfortably this week. But, someone suddenly walked up to him and patted his back hard at this time. She also cheerfully called him. It was Naun. The pat was so strong that it left an imprint on his back. While feeling a little painful, Hajin then confusedly asked her, "What's wrong?" With a bright smile, Naun asked him, "You didn't forget about our plan tomorrow, right?" Hajin could only feel confused hearing that, but Naun didn't explain it to him and told him not to be late. After telling him that, Naun then walked away from there. Hajin could only stare blankly at her departure. He was really confused and didn't understand what she meant.